So, if you were playing my game or seen people playing it and things like that, you would know definitely overcrowding is such a huge problem. So, in this update, I tried to fix all that and then add a new character. I added 3 new outfits and a new map. So, let's get into that. So, if you go into the game, you can go to the shop and then see the 3 new items. These cost 200 each because I want to make that the average price for all the items. But you can scroll up and down in the shop now, and I'll keep on adding items going downwards here, also trying to organize them. But you can equip the eye patch, the face mask, and blonde hair. So those things I just added because I thought they were pretty cool. And you can put them all on and it'll look something like this. And with this update, I also changed some things with the customization by making it so you can equip everything at the same time, and it doesn't only allow you to equip 3 of the same type. And by the way, I organized the outfits and stuff before in types, so something was a back type, a middle type, and a front type, and you can only wear one of those for any customization you're doing. But for now, I changed it all, and you can see the eye patch and the face mask, they're both the same type, but you can both use them at the same time. So also using the Chinese hat, and you can do different outfits and combinations with different characters. It's just the thing with these outfits is it doesn't work as great on the square characters like Gilbert and Bruton, but I don't really think I'm gonna have a way to solve that, but it looks generally fine either way. So if you were playing before this update, you'd get the OG tag, but now if you go to settings and you're not an OG player, you wouldn't have this tag that says OG player. So now basically it's a full release where the OG players are now exclusive thing that you get if you played before today, what is the 29th of March. So thank you for those people supported. And also in the map section here, I added a new map, what is Future. So basically Future is just an open map with some boxes as you can see on the preview, and it's just gonna be basically a variation of Desert but just with a more open map, and that was the whole vibe of it, also like the Future type of thing. And another thing I changed, so now I've used the cape, it actually works like I wanted it to. So basically the cape before, when you moved it didn't do anything, but now as you can see with the cape, when you start moving it stops animating, and when you move it actually kind of goes like in the wind or something like that. So that's the thing I added. And as you can see, this map is quite open. The spawns are a bit different on every map, and the spawners changed to be a kind of a more metal kind of different vibe. I don't know, I didn't want to make everything the same because stone on this map wouldn't make sense, so I made everything kind of more metal kind of textures and things. But there's 4 spawners at the top and bottom, and then here is the boxes. They're just simple boxes for the map. As you can see, the new designs are cool and all, but with this update I changed the main enemy spawning system. I don't know if you can tell, but already enemies spawn way less because after some time they of course ramp up. But what I wanted to make is less enemy spawns and more enemy power, so the enemies will spawn less often than it usually did. But the thing that's going to change is the enemies are going to have the same rarities and stuff, but they're going to be harder to fight. This is going to help, you know, not make your game lag once you get to end game, because that's always been a problem with this game. Once you play the game for, let's say, like 5 minutes or something, you're in a game, once you get to end game, your screen is overcrowded with enemies, and they are not really that hard to kill, but once you try to kill a lot, then it starts lagging your game because the death animation and all of this stuff. So what I wanted to do is just make it so it's not that problem that makes you lose the game or overcrowding, but rather the strength of the enemies, because after some time the enemy's HP is going to go up, the enemy's attack is going to go up, and the enemy's speed is going to go up, all making it harder for you to kill the enemy. And I'm not going to change the reload speed or some other aspects because it might change the enemy too much and make, like, let's say a ranger way too strong or attacker just instantly kill you. So now the enemy things should be slightly fixed. Some changes might still happen, but I just want to make the game playable after you get to a certain point, and so you can actually die. And of course the spawning of coins and gems have now been lowered by a large amount. And this is mainly because the economy before this update was so broken that you can get free characters quite easily. I did scale up the economy and different things like that, but now I made it so you actually have to grind for new characters and things, because the currencies and things like that beforehand were quite useless. And as you can see, I have way too much money. That was because before the update you just get loads and loads of money just for free, but now as you can see, after you kill enemies you get way less. Like I just got 9 from the enemy instead of getting 90 or things like that. I also buffed some characters that needed desperate buffs and things like that to make them viable and more usable. Also fixed many bugs, so that's what I did. And there's a new enemy that I'll be showing you later on, but I just want to show you I reworked Raptor, because beforehand Raptor and like costumes and things like that wouldn't really work on him, but now everything should work on him, because the thing with Raptor beforehand is when he attacks he moves back his main character thing, but now when he attacks he won't move and he'll just pull out a gun. I kind of had to customize it, but basically this should work pretty nice now. So once the enemy is in range he just pulls out a gun, and I just had to change the model a little bit, but it doesn't change anything before that was different. All it does is make so he doesn't jump in a different location. The costumes look weird. Also, his attacks now scale, because that was a thing that didn't work before. And the last thing I want to show you before I'm going to show you the new enemy is Lightman. There's some characters that on some maps you can't really see their abilities or the characters themselves. Like Lightman was one of them on this map that you can't really see because the abilities are the same color as the background. He is different enough to not receive this, but it did change, and I had to make an outline for them. So if you use the ability now, it's also a bit changed, but as you can see it has an outline. That's because the base color of the actual thing is the same color as the floor on this map. So now I changed it a bit, and I gave also the barbed wire a bit more HP. Same thing with his super, what is the same color as the floor. If you use a super, it has an outline as well. So I'm going to be doing that for characters and enemies and things that are the same color as the floor or the map or something like that. Now to the enemy. So this is a new enemy. It's basically going to have the same chance to spawn in as a normal enemy, but it's under a little bit of a rarer category and gives a little bit more money, because as you can see it's basically like a ranger, has a different design and shoots 3 arrows. And the whole difference between the ranger and this enemy is that this person has closer range, while the ranger, I buffed the range to make it more distinct. The ranger arrows does a lot more damage. These arrows do less damage than the rangers, quite a lot less, even half the damage even if all 3 hit, but has double the reload speed. So basically this person is going to be harder to dodge with 3 attacks each, and this is the multi-shot zombie. So this is the new normal zombie. I'm gonna be adding some mini bosses and the next update most likely. But that was today's update. There's a lot of things that I added this update, a lot bigger things that I finally get to work on because I got some main problems done of the game. So I'll be getting to that, and thank guys so much for the support on this game. It really means a lot. So see you guys next time, and bye bye.